What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing Port Adelaide's round 7 clash against the Pies. Unfortunately, Port didn't get the job done for Boakie's 250th game, going down by 39 points in what was a pretty disappointing performance considering the big stage and the big, the occasion as well with Boakie's 250th. So unfortunately that wasn't the case, but we're going to go through the game and have a look at the negatives and the positives from the night and see where we can improve for next week's showdown.
Howe was the only real flyer. Here's Boak. Handball off. Rosie. Haven't seen much of him tonight. Fumble. Rare by Maynard. Boak follows up, has a ping at goal. This is online, I think. So there it is, the first goal from Port, and he's trying to inspire his team.
Where do we start from Friday night's game? It was quite a big occasion, as I said before, for Boakie's 250th game. It was the stage was set for an epic battle. Everyone was building this up as probably the best Friday night game we've had for the AFL this season. But unfortunately, Port Adelaide didn't turn up in the first quarter, and we got one of those Friday night footy games where it was just, oh, here we go, it's a one-sided affair. Turn off now. It was like we got stage fright. That was the thing. We didn't turn up. You know, the big occasion was there, the big chance to take a big scalp. I mean, we're probably not on Collingwood's level, even at our best at the moment. But in saying that, you get the jump, you play good footy, you can nullify their best and play at our strengths. And that's exactly what Collingwood did. They came out of the blocks, 2 quick goals, scoreboard pressure, they applied pressure around the contest. Their midfield was awesome. They continually beat us up. You know, we had balls like Powell Pepper, Boak in there, who was good on the night. Wines as well. You know, you have Ebert and stuff like that can travel through there. But in the end, their midfield, Taylor Adams, Pendlebury, Treloar, whoever else went inside there, just absolutely obliterated us. And it showed. They were at their absolute best, Collingwood, on Friday night. And look, to lose by 39 points, I think the scoreboard was a bit more flattering. They had plenty of shots on goal, Collingwood, especially early. We could have been 8, 9, 10 goals down even halfway through that second quarter. But it was a moment in the second quarter, right at the start. Boak kicked the first goal for us for the game, and it really set the tone. And then we sort of builded our way back. We started to chip away, kicked a couple of goals in a row, and then things have started to move pretty well. And it was actually quite pleasing to see us fight our way back. That resilience to keep on going. And for the night, I don't think we ever really stopped. That was probably the one thing that I was looking at. You know, we weren't phased. If you get what I mean, we weren't phased at the opportunity that we had. I mean, as I said, we got stage right at the beginning. We were sort of in no man's land. But throughout the night, the body language didn't showcase that we were phased. We just kept on going. We knew what the problem was. We knew that we were down. We knew that we couldn't probably get the job done because Collingwood were just so good. But we kept chipping at it, and that's what I liked. I think as a collective, we made mistakes. You know, we were pretty poor with our disposal efficiency. Our ball use was shocking at times compared to Collingwood's. You know, they had a 78% disposal efficiency, and we had 69%. They had over, or just under 100 disposals more than us. So have 78% efficiency with more disposals is a compelling stat in itself. It means they hit targets, they knew what they're doing. And look, if they weren't keep missing easy shots on goal, Collingwood, I think we could have lost by a lot more. But yeah, as I said, we sort of flattered ourselves in the end, and we missed a couple of shots as well, so we could have been a bit close too, especially with Westhoff's shocking set shots. He's got to really fix those, especially with no conditions whatsoever to affect the ball. If you're missing those, that's shocking. I think on the night, Westhoff, just touching on him, he was very good. Like, he around the ball, around the ground, he moved really well, but his leadership in that first half was just so questionable. And I don't know if that was himself getting a bit of stage fright, being out of position, just not smart enough with the footy, and then his disposal work across the night. I think he was going at 55% for the evening, was pretty poor. But in saying that, he was good. He set up a couple of targets and he was taking marks again, and that was a typical Westhoff game. To have 29 disposals, it's a really good effort considering the performance he had early. And if you look at the other stats as well, contested possessions, 172 to 147. That just showcases how brutal their midfield was compared to Port's. They absolutely dominated the inside ball, and their around the ground work as well was exceptional. They had, I think, nearly 50% 50 marks more than us across the ground, uncontested, which is in itself means they were controlling the play. They set the tone, Collingwood. They controlled the pace of the ball. They went when they had to. They slowed it down. There was the 40-minute patch in that second quarter and a bit of the third quarter where we actually had the momentum, we had the play, we were dominating, just couldn't convert. We couldn't hit targets inside 50. And 49% going inside 50 compared to, I think it was 60% from Collingwood for scoring inside 50 once you got it in there. It's just, that's the stats just show everything from the night. While I was speaking on the midfield, the ruck contests were pretty even as well. Grundy was awesome for the Pies. He had, I think, the first 6 or 7 hit-outs for the night. They all ended up in clearances, and I think 4 or 5 of them ended up in goals. So when you look at that, and considering we had Ryder and Grundy going at it, Ryder and Lysette against Grundy, it just shows that Grundy's an awesome ruckman, and we were just showing up. And that's probably one of the few things you can take away from the night is we were showing up. The good thing was Ryder and Lysette hit the scoreboard, and if we can have that with a couple of extra goal kickers on the night, then you're in a better position, not a winnable position, but a better position to move forward into next week and so forth. There's not a lot else you could really say about the game. It was quite disappointing to see that such a big occasion we couldn't turn up for, especially Boak's 250th. I think that's what the most disappointing thing is. If we went down with a proper fight and didn't lose by, like we did, 39 points, we lost by 20, 15, 20 points on the night after fighting really hard, then you can come out of the game thinking, you know what, we're in a good position. Collingwood are just a better side and we played away, but we didn't turn up. And that's the biggest question for me, and especially with the kids. Maybe, I know Ken doesn't want to rest the kids because he is basing it on form, which is completely, I respect that because, we're not resting kids for the sake of it. And if they're in good form, you keep playing them. Rosie's in killer form. I think Butters and Drew are starting to slow a bit, and I think that's probably going to come into consideration. Drew did have 8 tackles for the night, which was great, but only 12 disposals as a midfielder. And he's probably, I know they're looking at a younger direction, but someone like a Trengove deserves a go. He's been awesome in the Magpies after their 34-point win yesterday against the Dogs. I think now it's time to see who can come in from the Magpies side and really change things up. At the same time, we might be developing the young kids, but also we're in a position where we can actually challenge for finals. I wouldn't say challenge for the big cup. It's going to be interesting to see how we turn up. And I think if it wasn't for our defence on Friday night, we would have lost by 15 goals. Oh my God. How good is our defence? So Dougal Howard's found that form that he had last year. Is really looking good. Houston's been awesome all year. Definitely an All-Australian smoky. Tom Cleary and DeGoey was pretty good, actually. A couple of contests that he did fall over in and just didn't quite get there with DeGoey, and that's a credit to DeGoey. He was just awesome in a one-on-one contest. But Cleary was fantastic. And there was a couple of our defence that really didn't help at all. DBJ was shocking. Bonner was atrocious. Piss poor by Riley Bonner. He was weak at the contest. He used the ball well, but he was just weak at the contest. Didn't apply enough pressure. And as a defender, that's not good enough. And there's blokes in the SNFL waiting for a spot. So we'll do the votes. Obviously, no standouts on the night. No one that really stood up. One vote did go to Sam Powell-Pepper. I thought he changed the way we played in the second quarter. He really attacked the footy. That contest going towards our back half to get our second goal of the night was awesome by him. And he worked hard all night in the middle and around the stoppages and around the ground. So well done to SPP. 2 votes. I did say that he had a pretty poor first half in terms of the way he used the ball and his leadership. But in saying that, he was probably one of the best on the night for Justin Westhoff. He had 29 disposals, took 8 marks and kicked 1 goal, 3, and he could have had 4 for the night if he kicked straight, but I thought he was pretty good considering otherwise, and he really helped us around the ground and probably actually stopped a couple of goals as well. So well done to Westy. Just improve those goal kicking chances, mate. 3 votes. You can't give it to anyone else besides the man of the hour, Travis Boak. 250th game. He had 32 disposals again, kicked a goal, kicked our first goal of the night. It was just, he didn't use the ball as well, but he kept going. He kept working hard, and It's all you can ask on a night like that. And yeah, 3 votes for Travis. He's in sensational form at the moment, and it puts a smile to my face. So that's it. That wraps up this round 7 preview. Disappointing, I know. Next week, showdown. Must rock up, simple as that. Must win game. Well, it's a similar position as last year, actually. 4-3, coming off a disappointing loss. West Coast last year, Collingwood this year. Interesting that they're both the grand finalists from last year. So thank you for watching, Port fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, for plenty more Port Adelaide content coming your way on a weekly basis, round by round. Yeah, new season really hotting up, isn't it? My name's Anthony, and as always, count the penalties.